Hey y'all. Happy Leo New Moon Wisdom Circle. We're going to get started in just a couple minutes. But I want you to go grab a candle and water and anything that you feel like could cleanse you. Maybe you want to pull a card. Maybe you want to grab a rock. But light your candle. Set the space for yourself like you would for any royal. Create your little stage. Set your space so that you can really be in the act of your heart for the next hour. And I don't care if that's in your car or wherever you're watching this, that could be a few breaths, right? Get creative. We're ceremonial beings. So I have to hit this gong one more time. So listen to some Guru Ram Das. Start to breathe. Maybe place hands on your heart. Let's bring our hands together and start to just rub the palms. So kind of pull your fingers back. Rub up and down, side to side, diagonally, in circles. And then start to move into your fingers. Maybe they cross. You get the backs of them. You get between your fingers like you're washing your hands. This Aquarian age that we are stepping into, this is your power right here in your hands. So I want you to cleanse them right now. Wash off the backs. Get every part of your hand. Leave no part of any finger, any nail, any crevice, any part of your palm left without being touched, without being felt. And now go ahead and take your hands and bring them up to your ears and start to move your fingers across the earlobes, down the sides of your ear, all the way down, maybe gently pulling down. Take a deep breath in, start to circulate some air very consciously. And notice how your thoughts immediately shift when you take that conscious breath. Notice how your awareness and attention to your heart becomes immediately apparent, even in a subtle way. And then go ahead and take your hands and cross the wrists and gently stroke down the jaw, across the throat, across the collarbones, slightly dragging your fingers to your heart. Breathe into your hands. Maybe lift your gaze a little so that you're facing the heavens. And then let your hands come together in front of your heart and pull the thumbs, your Mars, your director, your action taker. Pull that energy into your heart and lift your heart into your hand. And feel your shoulders come together, slightly more together on the back. And bringing awareness to the space of not just your physical heart. Bring awareness there to that left center side of your chest cavity. But also bring your awareness to the right back side of your body. And I want you to imagine that everyone you love, everything you love is embracing you now, whether they are here in this physical realm or not. Your angels, the people, the energies, the entities, the guides that come in all forms, animal, physically, through an object, through a person. Feel that embrace of love, of acceptance. Let it well up. Feel the feeling of it welling up inside. Let it reach your heart. Let the tsunami of that feeling flow to you. And then let it rise with your breath all the way through your throat, into the head, and then imagine as you exhale the water washing down that feeling, receding. Take a few breaths here, inhaling and exhaling, feeling the rise and fall, the circulation of your own force, your own energy and motion. Holding no attachment to it, but still inviting it here into your heart to alchemize, to burn brightly, to breathe truth. Take one more breath. And exhale, release. Now as we tune in with the Adi mantra. We're going to connect the divine, conscious, creative energy of the universe. And when you tune into your own heart's sound. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo 3 times. Inhale together. Exhale, release. Sit up tall and prepare to tune in. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Lift the gaze up. Feel the chin draw in, pull up from rectum, sex organs, navel, into the midline. Consolidate the energy, feeling the expansion at the heart. Exhale. Inhale on your own, feeling the vibration of that sound, of that current. Sound frequency is the currency of the Aquarian age. So now as we tune in with the Mangala Charan mantra, we're going to envision a protective, healing white light surrounding us. As we chant Ad Gurde Name, you'll envision this coming up from the right. Jugad Gurde Name behind you. Sat Gurde Name to the left of you. Siddhi Gurudev Name in front of you. Inhale. Ad Gurde Name, Jugad Gurde Name, Sat Gurde Name, Siddhi Gurudev Name, Ad Gurde Name, Jugad Gurde Name, Sat Gurde Name, Siddhi Gurudev Name, Ad Gurde Name, Jugad Gurde Name, Sat Gurde Name, Siddhi Gurudev Name. Inhale. Sense your connection to both the seen and unseen, the vibration that touches what is here in all realms, in all spaces. Exhale. Release your fingers, your hands. Bring the thumb and index finger together in Gyan Mudra and bring the arms down. Arms straight, chest lifted. Feel the chin draw in and glide the skull back to be in alignment with your shoulder blades and your sacrum. Sit tall like a yogi, like someone who is here to seek connection in all forms. And with that recognition, sense it. Every part of you, taste the connection, smell the connection, see the connection, touch the connection, feel it fully, unabashedly. Feel the fullness and the power that emanates within your sun, your soul. Illuminate that expression of your divinity, of your connection to all. And I want you to set an intention right here and right now for the next year of your life. What kind of frequency do you want to exist on? What types of vibrations do you want to embody? Those of love, of compassion, of grace, of grit in the face of uncertainty. Set your intention and set the bar high. For the mountains we climb will require us to have a lot of energy, to have a lot of prana, to have a lot of discernment for the steps we take are those towards our destiny now. We hold the past, for it has taught us so much. And look at where we've gotten. But now we're being asked to be more of ourselves, to not hold anything back in the face of love. For love will always triumph over fear. But it is where you put your attention that action moves. And it's where you take action that the motivation to pursue this intention gives you everything you've ever desired and more. For you gave yourself the opportunity to go on the journey of knowing your heart. Inhale. Suspend your breath for a moment. Sit tall. Hold the focus at your third eye and beam your intention out of your heart. Beam it forward. Exhale. Do that twice more. In the still space, consolidate. Focus the intention. Hold it at the third eye and beam it from your heart. Once more. Release. Just take your fingers and lightly glide through your head. Open and close your jaw. Allow yourself to kind of come out of that meditative posture, but hold that frequency where you are, just getting acclimated with your space, maybe stretching a little bit out to the sides of you, above you, bringing hands to the earth. And then as you're ready, if you haven't already, you can light your candle. You can grab some water. Thank you all for being here today on this Saturday while the moon is moving through its literal final degrees of Leo. We made it in the new moon window. And before the moon moves into, trusty, handy, perfecting Virgo, healthy Virgo. And before we have this, year shifting conjunction, like once in lifetimes conjunction of Mars and Uranus and the North Node in Taurus. Those of you who are here or are going to listen in the future, we are made for this time to bring consciousness back to natural order, back to natural law, and to do it in a fun, freeing way like we haven't had before. We aren't under religious persecution anymore. We have the opportunities to connect to people all around the globe who share our values, who open up their own hearts to us, despite never necessarily having met heart to heart. That's how big and how powerful your heart is. The 108 suns. that it can travel oceans, that it can travel dimensions, that it can travel timelines. You are finding each other again, right? You've met people, I'm sure, in the last couple years who you're like, wow, maybe if the world hadn't shut down, I would have never met you. I had to have another world open up to me and to make peace with it and to realize that, yeah, this is bigger than me. And I actually need to be selfish right now and focus on my home, this fucking home, the home of your precious, technologically advanced body, battery, frequency, medicine. It's right here. You got to work on that. You got to be selfish, which means you can't be spending time with a bunch of people who don't necessarily matter to your path, who we just used to stumble upon because we were so busy, little busy bees going all these places. It's actually quite beautiful that we have a choice, an opportunity to slow down because it is picking up. We're in an apocalypse. We signed that Earth contract for 2020 to 2024. Okay, the 4 horsemen, the 4 powerful years of Pluto moving through the final degrees of Capricorn. I am Plutonian. The transformation is going to happen regardless of whether you want to be consciously aware of your power or to feel like you are powerless. It's a choice, Pluto says. So what choice are you making? Right now, we've moved through our first horseman. I brought this up in the last wisdom circle, pestilence. We've moved through sickness, although, you know, they're trying to bring the monkeypox here. So, you know, it only compounds, I should say, right? We're in war, a psychological, spiritual war. And yes, we live on planet Earth where the Mars energy is very strong. The violence, the ways that we can go low is very prominent. So as yogis and as people who want to create less harm in the world, we have to be highly meditated and we have to have a lot of prana to handle those surges. I'm in an Aries, 29 degree. Right, I can just like, it's a switch. So I just have to be very mindful, as we all do. Because if we're not careful, we'll go to war with ourselves. And if we're at war with ourselves, then we sure as fuck can't be at peace with others. And you're not here to be at war with your heart. You're not here to shy away. I jokingly said, but I wasn't joking, that for years as a yoga teacher, I was scared to teach breath of fire because I had people pass along this idea to me, this fear to me, that by having people learn how to breathe in a powerful way that could somehow hurt them, right? We're moving into the age where we have to empower ourselves and each other to do simple but seemingly hard things. Staying open is hard. Closing off is easy, right? And that's why war can be so easy with the technology that we have now. So we have to actually be the rulers over our technology and program it to a benevolent frequency, right? Otherwise, that technology will use us. And we're moving into now the 3rd phase of famine. And this is why I think so many people are getting this push, like, I need to have food growing, even if it's herbs or, you know, tomatoes or cucumbers. I'm naming the things that I grew this year, right? I need to talk to a farmer, right? Or I need to get in communication with my community, the legitimate community around you. Because I live in a suburb. I know plenty of people who live in cities. And it's so easy to be also disconnected from the people who are right next to you. But guess what? If the internet or something just goes off, who will you have to talk to? It won't be me unless you're walking to Woodbridge. Right? So we have to cultivate more intimate relationships with the local people who were also around, because you have to realize that you chose to be there. You made a conscious choice to be where you are. So are you leaning into the lesson? Because maybe then you'll move forward faster. Or are you just like, nope, nope. Because the world is shifting very fast, very rapidly. And so we have to, again, go slower. And what does things like growing food or just putting your feet on the earth, grounding and breathing into that feeling of where you actually are, because the earth is feeding you through those things that you're touching and that you're interacting with and that you're creating a relationship with. Same with your stones. I mean, why do you think I keep so many around, you know? They help us slow down. They help us come back to the present moment. And ordering groceries and having them delivered to your house. One, anybody else like, holy groceries, you know? Because when people start to mess with food supply, with the nourishment supply, we start to pay deeper attention, right? And Mother Earth is calling out to us. This is why we have these 3 Taurus placements right now. We're at the precipice where we all know something's gotta change. And I don't necessarily know what. My favorite expression, all of 2022, I don't know. I don't fucking know. But I'm determined to figure it out. And I'm not gonna rush it. For once, I'm not gonna rush it. So as we embrace this precipice, we get this conjunction right over the Leo new moon, right before Lionsgate, which again is this gateway into so much prosperity and so much abundance. On, again, we talk from the cosmic level, right? You have so much in these next few weeks, in this next, I mean, I'll say it, like 60 to 90 days to make shift happen. And we want to we're bringing time space and space time closer together. Okay, God's time and earth time, they're getting closer, but there's still a separation now, because we're really trying to align with the heart. Right? So we're cleaning up areas of our lives that don't serve. Thank you, earth energy. We're clearing finances. The economy is shifting and changing. And so we have to be so heart-centered so that we don't get pulled into the matrix of fear. And it's so intoxicating. Fear is sexy. Love is way sexier. But fear is like that, ooh, do I even tell anybody that I'm feeling this way? Yeah, you do. Because if you're feeling it, somebody else is feeling it too. Our heart resonance works like that. So it's been so fascinating building out I don't know, because as a teacher, I've always known I don't have your answers. But as a teacher, as a mother, as someone who looks at life like we're in school all the time, and I really liked school, so change it up if you don't like school, but I love learning and looking at opportunities for change as just that. Like, what am I here to learn? Do I need to know every little piece of what I'm going to get out of this? Or do I want the surprise? Knowing that by focusing that intention, I got to get to somewhere differently. And I don't necessarily know how to get there myself. So I'm going to lean in. That's why kids ask questions. That's why as parents, it's our job to answer to the best of our ability and to also admit when we don't know so that they can go find a solution. You can go find a solution, maybe not from another external source. Maybe it's, again, the encouragement to look within, to ask more questions. So many people stopped asking questions the last few years. Whilst my Scorpio rising ass was like, holy shit, I've never had more questions. Holy spirit, activate. This is it. This is the call we were waiting on. But how the hell are we going to get through this period? All right. So much of what has been hidden, so much of the dark is coming to light. And we have to have a strength and a fortitude and a grit about us, like the lion. Nurturing, caring, protective, but fierce as fuck if needed. Okay. And so I'm so just grateful again for this time and this opportunity for us to be here and to be kind of connecting on these themes of really finally embracing change. Because for fixed energies, it takes a while. In fixed energies in astrology, Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, Taurus, takes a while for us to get there. Like we got to mull it over. We got to work it through the system. So you don't just go from not knowing to knowing. What's in between that? Time. Time is in between that. The work is in between that. The devotion is in between that. So what are we devoting ourselves to? What is our heart aching for us to devote ourselves to? So you got to look at your life. Where are you devoting yourself to? Are you doing it because you're doing it out of obligation? Because that's got to stop. As a parent, it never stops. You're always the giver. But how do you give? Do you give unconditionally? Or do you give because, again, you feel like, I just have to? Well, that's how we raise the people around us. I just have to be around you. I just have to take care of you. No, I enjoy this. I desire this. You are part of my truth. The more I've devoted myself to myself for the first 30 years of my life, which is part of my structural programming. Like literally, human design, astrology, it all points to 30, 30, 30 and beyond. I'm living to 150. But I devoted my first 30 years truly to myself. And for a while, I felt guilty about that because we're taught to do things for other people, right? But I was like, well, how am I going to do things for other people if I have no idea who the hell I am, right? If I have no idea how to deal with other people. And now this shift, the pivot, the I don't know, is really pointing to the devotion to others, to being of service. And the more that I let go of the expectation of what it is that I'm here to get out of giving, the more I receive the blessing of having the ability and the consciousness to give freely. So lead your life in a brave way. Lead your life in a brave way. The feminine energy is very brave. It's stepping into the unknown. But here's the deal. The Aquarian age is the masculine age. Safety, I've said this many times, safety is created from within. Your masculine structures within you, your breath, your spirit, your mind, those are what create safety for you. So if your mind feels unsafe, it's because you're looking at shit that makes you unsafe. It's not other people's fault that it triggers you. It's an issue that you don't have a grip on your spirit, on your breath, on your prana. Because if you have more prana, you have more ability to deal with the triggers that come in. There's a force field around you, right? Why do we do fucking fists of anger? We're increasing the radiant shield around us. And don't tell me it ain't real, it's so real. And the more subtle that we become, the more attuned to these various bodies, these various ways of interacting with said spirit, and the more powerful that connection becomes to impact and affect others. So your feminine is such, again, it's the creator. The masculine pushes you out the door, and the feminine says, we're going to create this. We're going to move through this process. Maybe not with every step handed to us. We're going to get a lot of the steps along the way. And then it's also the masculine that reminds us when we're scared, when we're questioning, when we're doubting, when we're worrying, to come back to that power of the heart, of the prana, of the holy air. And it gives us those wings again. It gives us that encouragement again to keep going, to sustain that power. So 2022 is the year of balance, right? The 6th year, the arc line year. And the more that, as a community, as your own person, the more that you work with that arc line to strengthen your ability to come back to balance, because life will perpetually put us out of balance on purpose. It's all on time. Whoa, all of a sudden I'm swinging this way. Okay. Do you have a good grip? Right? Do you have a good eye for when you need to let go? Right? This balance is something that is it's like it's moment to moment, which is why we do have to be so conscious of ourself. Jupiter is in Aries, right? So for this year, the focus especially is on the self-development, the remembering of oneself, of one's ability to tune in to a higher conscious way of living. Really, really tap into what it means to go slower, to not rush your life, and to do the things that are right in front of you with like the most loving spirit you can muster. Because for a long time we've been like chasing the Aquarian age, and it's like, okay, it's here now. we're there. So let's really be there, right? Let's really be in our body. Let's really be here. And it's okay if there's periods where you feel sick, you feel ill. right? We have to purge and we have to cleanse the energies and the entities that don't serve us anymore. And as we create new patterns in the body, in the neurons, in the day to day, in the way that we move through our life, we have to release the grief, right? We have to release the guilt. We have to release the shame, the fear. And as those things leave, well, you get knocked on the door a lot of times like, are you sure? You sure? I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Get out of here. Right? We have to laugh about it. We have to kind of make it like hilarious, says my Gemini 8th house. So I keep getting again this call. I think oh no, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to share the card that came through, which is Tara. And Tara is the goddess of centering. And she's sitting on this beautiful lotus. And her iconography is all blue and white and purple. And she says, I sit with my attention focused on my breath, breathing in and out, inhaling and exhaling, taking in and letting go, the dance of creation, the dance of the universe, the dance of life. I sit in stillness and focused awareness, breathing in and out, as the ocean that is life churns and pulses around me, as oceans of incarnations swirl and twirl through me, beside me, all around me. My eyes see all, know all, and watch as I breathe, still, focused, aware, and centered. And she is a goddess that we call upon during tumultuous times, when we need kind of that extra reminder that we are held and protected in one way or another, in one realm or another, seen or unseen. And it says that as the goddess of self-mastery, and mysticism, that she helps us to steer a clear path and to find stillness and strength when it seemingly doesn't look like we have much to go on. And, you know, if you pay attention to news or social media, it can feel like a real doomsday clock sometimes. Might just be what I look at. I don't know. But there's a lot to pay attention to in the world, right? And so when we need to come back, we can be reminded that, like, when she cries, she has this one tear that comes down, and that first tear formed a lake of compassion. And so it's okay to, again, feel the tumultuous times, feel the uncertainty, but to know that we can hold ourselves in true compassion, which means that we aren't a victim to our circumstance. And we are here to save ourselves, right? We are here to be our own guru, and no one can really save us. We have to choose that. And allow us to not judge our journey, nor someone else's. That would only add, again, to the uncertainty of us stepping into our own heart and making those steps towards what we want to create. So yeah, that's a little of what I had. It's what I wanted to share. But I have a meditation that I want us to do, because being with a calm heart through these times is also of great importance. And with the Uranus awakening and the Mars rulership, with all the element of fire, even though it's in an earth sign, it's that urgency for us to want to really align with our path of destiny. And with Saturn in Aquarius, there's this reminder of time truly being limited in this life, and that humanity being at this turning point. We have the power within our hands to stop creating destruction from within, which only happens when we're moving again from head or just feeling. We're not necessarily moving from the heart, from that deeper knowing. So I find that this meditation is so soothing. And I actually did it for a 40-day period in a previous coaching container that I was in. And it was everything I needed to move through, again, uncertain times, trying things that are new, coming to terms with like shame and the things that come up when you're like working with someone who's there to be a mirror for you, right? And what I love about Kundalini, what I love about meditation and yoga in general, is that it puts you in direct contact with the fact that you are highly technological. Like your is such a innovative, revolutionary place. And so it's like this automatic, like, anytime I practice, anytime I meditate, anytime I, again, I'm just conscious of creating a connection. So I think for this fourth industrial revolution, that really is Uranus and Aquarius, we're realizing that the innovation is us. And that we are going to create very powerful technology, and that it can support humanity or it can destroy humanity. But we have to choose. Are we, And so if we have control over this technology, then anything that as humans we create, we can program, right, to work in our favor. So your calm heart, that steady beating heart, that's like the ultimate tech. Okay, so we already tuned in. We're going to be sitting in easy pose. So actually, let's just take like a minute to do a cat cow. Just a minute. You can do it seated, but hands and knees, just, and really move the spine. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. I'm a little crampy, but baby or babies, y'all, I don't really know. There could be two. It's really trippy how much movement there is everywhere. But don't focus on breath. Inhale, Sat, exhale, Nam. Listen to Guru Ramdas. Waheguru, Guru Das Guru. Get the heart moving. All right, last 10 seconds. And inhale, lift the head. Press the heart forward. Really pull the earth up through your arms, up through your hands. And then exhale, reverse the direction. Push the ground away. Hollow out, pull navel to spine. Yeah, squeeze it out. And then inhale, come to center. And exhale, send yourself back to your heels. Bring the forehead, your third eye, your conscious mind to the earth. Connecting conscious mind to the earth, we bring palms together, left and right side, and they stretch forward, pinky finger, mercury finger down. Everything in the yoga practice is so intelligent. And the more that we recognize the subtle connections between every shape we take, right? Your body making shapes are like moving mudras. right? It's all very, very designed for us to connect and to let the mind go. So inhale, Sat at the third eye. Exhale, Nam, truth into the earth. Identity, connecting here. Last 2 breaths. All right. And then take your time coming up into your seat. All right. So this is literally called a meditation for a calm heart. Okay. It's a really soothing pranayama because we're really focusing on deep, long, slow breathing. All right. So as we do this meditation, it really aids in adding clear perception to your relationships and to like yourself and others. So if you're ever in a position where you're like really upset or you're about to go into somewhere where you're figuring out how you want to decide to act, this is where you would kind of pause and come to this meditation or hold this mudra and do these breaths, because then you can really act with your full heart. So in a physical way, this meditation helps the lungs and the heart, which is again very much connected to Leo. And it's great for beginning meditation. And I'm all about that, making it accessible, because your technology, your body's technology is accessible to you. And the more that we become, again, aware and attached to our physical body, the easier it is to detach ourselves from the crazy thoughts of our mind. All right, so we're sitting in easy pose. You're going to have a light Jalandhara Bandh, so a light neck lock, okay? And you're going to place the left hand on the center of the chest. The fingers are going to point right. The thumb is resting on top. Okay, yeah, so here we go. The tip of your index finger is at the tip of the tongue, or here we go, right hand. We're going to be in Gyan Mudra, but it's going to be up near the shoulder. So thumb and index finger are touching. All right, and it's like a pledge. So your fingers aren't pointing in or back towards you, it's pointing forward. Your right hand. Okay. So the elbow's relaxed. The forearm here, again, is not necessarily perpendicular, but the hand itself is perpendicular across the chest. So we're going to close our eyes, all right? And you're going to look straight ahead with the eyes closed, or you can keep them 1/10 open. So closing them all the way, opening them 1/10. So now you're going to start to breathe slow and deep through both nostrils. You're going to, at the top of the inhale, you're going to breathe in, right? Breathe in a little bit more, suspend the breath and raise the chest. Retain the breath in for as long as possible. And then you'll exhale smoothly, gradually, and completely. And when the breath is totally out of the body, you'll lock the breath out. So you'll just suspend yourself in space and time for as long as possible. Then inhaling smoothly and gradually and completely. The concentration is the flow of the breath. So here we're regulating each bit of the breath consciously. As you look out into your destiny from behind closed lids, looking straight ahead, pledge to yourself here and now that you'll calmly and graciously and compassionately move forward, leading with your heart lifted, with calm breath, with your entire spirit lit up, beaming your radiance for all to feel, to see, to witness. As you breathe here and you hold the breath in for as long as possible or out for as long as possible, seek not to get to the point where you're gasping or out of breath, but just be in the rhythm of now. It doesn't have to be the longest you've ever possibly held, but a calm way of breathing and sending loving energy through the system, with moments between to pause in the space between, in the Akash, between the breaths. As your heart gets stronger, the resonance moving between palm and heart, notice your ability again to expand your own field, your aura, your electromagnetic radiant space. Pull it in, push it out. About 1 more minute here. Breathing deeply. After you release your breath, inhale powerfully. Squeeze root. Exhale powerfully. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. And exhale, relax. Just taking a moment to witness and notice what you've changed, both within the space, internally, the unseen, as well as around you. Maybe that is opening your eyes and taking in the space around you and noticing how you perceive it. One of the comments in this meditation is that the home of the subtle force of the prana is in the lungs and the heart. And it's in the left hand, this feminine hand, placed at the natural home of prana that creates that deep stillness at that point. And all this right hand bringing action, analysis, placed in this receptive, relaxed mudra in the position of peace, right? So it naturally induces a feeling of calmness. And it creates that still point at your heart center for you to then again take action with full force. So I hope you enjoyed it. We did it for a little over 6 minutes. When you're starting with this, you can try it for 3, taking a minute of rest between them, doing it for another 3, building up. But it's really rejuvenating, and it really helps the concentration. And I was reminded of that in the last like 30 hours of like, all of a sudden I'm off in space. Okay, just come back. And we need the help sometimes, right? So I'm really grateful for you all being here today. I want to go longer. I only set this space and this time for this hour for this new moon because we are gathering with family, which is again very special and treasured. And I'm just so grateful that I got to connect with Soul Family. And they took off for a little bit of time so that mommy could have a at home to be here. And yeah, I'm like too relaxed to talk about, I don't know. But if anyone is interested in the space between, connect with me one-on-one. I would love to talk to you. I've been in honestly beautiful conversation with people in the last few days. And that's my favorite reason for creating a container in the first place, and for opening up a portal for there to be change, and a lot of energy moved in a very compassionate way. And all I have to say is, this I've guided myself through for life. I didn't realize it until the last few years that was, what I was consciously or unconsciously doing. But having a grand water trine and having the very fiery Aries spirit with a lot of Aquarius energy as well, we're here. I'm here, I know, to help usher in the future, and to remind us all that we have a warrior within us that wants us to fight for our truth and wants us to uplift ourselves in such a way that it does inspire others, simply because we are being who we are, unashamed, unabashedly, and usually pretty funny. So I'm excited because we kick off on the full moon, which is in 2 weeks. which is how I always roll out things. It's like, okay, it's happening. And that's just my life. But then we close on fall equinox, which again is 1 year anniversary of 333, which has radically changed my life. I didn't realize how much had to be uprooted, but I'm so glad that it was uprooted and that I've had this chance to open my heart in such a way every day, and to face my anger and frustrations at the world, and to, again, center myself aligned with patterns of habituation that serve me, and that serve everybody. So all of you, I think, have dropped in at least one time to 333, and continue to share it, continue to, we have leaders now, 5 out of 7 days, new leaders guiding, and it's incredible to just witness. So I'm also just steeping in a lot of gratitude. My heart's like, that meditation just like touched me. But I love you all, and we'll talk. Let's tune out, shall we? And I'm gonna put on my favorite Longtime Sun song. We can sing it. I don't want to sing it alone. And I want us to sing it for 2 minutes. If you need to pop, of course, you can just be like, goodbye. Where are you, White Sun? But make sure you tune out. White Sun, long time. There it is. Yes. All right, so let's bring the palms together, sitting up nice and tall, closing the eyes. And let's sing with Guru Jess here. Inhale. Lifting your thumbs to your forehead and bowing below your heart, offering your gratitude
for how she holds you and supports you and guides you through the known
and unknown, and rising up and thanking each other for all being here together, for creating this time and space on Saturday, this beautiful Saturday. So, yes, thank you, sweet friends. I will see you tomorrow for meditation, and every day after that for meditation. For another 1.7 years. Okay, that's all. Satnam. Love you.